and gentlemen, it is April here in Orlando, Florida. Summer is quickly approaching, and a lot of you guys are probably thinking about what you're gonna do when you come out of quarantine. You're probably gonna wanna come to Universal Studios Orlando, or just Orlando in general. And many of you guys probably have no experience dealing with the Orlando, Florida heat in the summer during times of COVID. Well, this video is for you guys. We're going to be walking around Universal Studios Orlando, sharing our best tips to keep yourself safe and make sure that you guys have an enjoyable time when you come to Orlando for a summer vacation. So, with that being said, let's get started. We got a lot to talk about. The very first tip that I have for you guys today, when you guys are visiting Orlando, more than likely you're gonna be staying at a hotel. Most hotels allow you to take the in-room towels. I would highly recommend taking some of these towels from the hotel room and keeping them with you, whether keeping it in your backpack, or gentlemen, if you have baggy shorts or cargo shorts, keep them in your pocket. Keep your towels somewhere easily accessible, so that way when you do get hot, you can always just towel off and you'll be perfectly fine. I would recommend bringing at least 2 per person if possible, because by midday, if you're coming here early in the morning, by midday this towel is going to be soaking wet. You're going to want a fresh one. All right, so tip number 2. If you guys are in the park, I highly recommend picking up one of these souvenir cups, only because you can refill them for the rest of the day, and it's an additional $10 a day if you, for, you know, after the day that you pick this up. I can't talk right now, but either way, Code and I, we just got this activated. We got it filled with lemonade. I would highly recommend getting one of these cups so that you don't have any issues getting water, soda, lemonade like we got, just something to keep you going throughout the entire day. You only really need 1 per family in my eyes, maybe 2, depending on how large the family is. You know, if you can all agree on 1 drink, then that's totally fine. I would highly recommend avoiding the sodas and the carbonated beverages when it gets really hot. You want something really refreshing like water or lemonade, something that's going to do well for your body and not cause you to crash a little bit later. But anyways, yeah, tip number 2, get a souvenir cup if at all possible. Very worth it. Tip number 3 that I have for experiencing Orlando in the summer: take advantage of the water rides. I cannot stress this enough. Now, keep in mind that the wait times for the water rides in the summer are going to get pretty lengthy. Popeyes is currently at an 80-minute wait right now. So if you guys are willing to wait in a pretty lengthy line, it is very well worth it. The water rides are a fantastic way to cool off in this summer heat. Absolutely fantastic. Now, just bear in mind that some water rides get you a bit more wet than others. If you guys want to see exactly how wet you guys get on water rides, then I'll put a link up here in the corner, so that way you guys can see our video for when Code and I rode these water rides in the cold. You'll more or less get an idea of how wet you can expect to get on these particular rides over here at Universal Studios as well. And as far as the water rides is concerned, you don't get super soaking wet on those rides, but they are still a fantastic way to cool off in the middle of the summer. So yeah, tip number 3, take advantage of the water rides. And of course, if you guys are not willing to wait in an 80-minute line for a water ride, there are other free options of cooling off and getting soaked while at Islands of Adventure. Take this for example. You can stand in the splash zone of Jurassic Park River Adventure and get soaked for little to no wait at all. Absolutely fantastic. Always a great alternative option. Another great option for getting wet is walking under this thing and just putting your hand right under there. Oh Lord, you will get wet. Now, while we are on the topic of water, another tip that I have, which is tip number 4, if at all possible, bring a reusable water bottle, more specifically a metal water bottle that's got a little bit of insulation for it. It's also a very cheap option compared to getting a souvenir cup at Universal Studios. If you don't want to spend the money on a souvenir cup and just want to stick to water, bring one of these metal bottles. And if your hotel room has a refrigerator with an ice machine, definitely highly recommend filling this thing up with ice and coming to Universal Studios. Stop at any quick service location or stand that has fountain beverages, and they will give you complimentary cups of ice water. You just gotta ask for it. Now, I will say, they are little cheap cups of ice water. They're a little small, but you can ask for however many you want. You fill up your bottle for however many people in your family you have, and keep on going. Take frequent water breaks throughout the day. Make sure that this is always filled, always full of ice, and I promise you guys, you will not regret it. Because on hot days like today, this is absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, so tip number 5 for when you are in the Orlando area during summer. I highly recommend prior to coming, either going to Amazon or Walmart and picking up a personal fan. They come in many different designs, varying prices. Just pick one that's good for you and your budget. This one works for us. We got it off of Amazon and it works absolute wonders. It's got a fan that faces upwards, so you can just hang it around your neck and have a constant stream of air coming up to your face just in case you guys get overheated. And if you guys want to pull off to the side, pull off your mask for a little bit and air off your face, you can totally do that as well. I highly recommend these fans when you come to Orlando in the summer. They are a lifesaver. One good thing to also note is that they do sell fans like this in the park, but just bear in mind that they are likely going to be a lot more expensive than what you would find either on Amazon or at Walmart. So do yourself a favor, get one ahead of time. Tip number 6 that I have for you guys when you come to Orlando in the summertime, especially now during the era of COVID. I don't think that mask wearing is going to be going away anytime soon. So I highly recommend in the summer months, bring an extra mask. You're gonna be sweating your butt off the entire day. You are going to get your mask completely soaking wet and you're gonna be miserable if you don't have a second mask. Yeah, you are able to purchase masks here at the resort, but they can be kind of expensive. If you want cheaper masks, go to Walmart or something, grab a spare mask, or if you're a little artsy, you can make your own mask. We had a viewer send this mask to us, so I always keep this one in my bag. This is my primary mask. So if for whatever reason you need to change out your mask, I highly recommend you bring a second one, maybe even 3, just in case. And as we finish off our day at Universal Studios, you might have noticed that I did do a little bit of a quick change. That is tip number 7. Always bring an extra set of clothes if at all possible. I always recommend bringing an extra pair of underwear, extra pair of shorts, and an extra shirt, especially the shirt part. Shirt and underwears. Those are definitely the 2 most important things, especially in the summertime. You're gonna be sweating your butt off, and by the end of the day, sometimes even midday, your backside is gonna be completely sweaty. And if you go to the bathroom, you might notice that your underwears are getting a little swampy as well, which is never a good thing. So I always recommend, if you can, have one person or everyone bring a small backpack. You always see me carrying one of these, a little drawstring backpack. I always recommend one of those. Bring a couple of extra shirts in there, and I guarantee you it'll help you a lot during your day, whether it's at Universal Studios or any other theme park in the Orlando area. Case in point, I don't know if you guys can see, but I am sweating down my leg. Like, I got sweat dripping down the sides of my legs. So if you know that sweat is dripping down my leg, then you know for sure you're gonna need an extra pair of underwear. Now, I have a few honorable mentions for you guys. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it definitely needs to be said. Wear some sunscreen. Holy cow, wear some sunscreen. I know, my Coda included, there are a lot of stubborn people out there, and some people may not want to wear sunscreen, and 9 times out of 10, those people who refuse to wear sunscreen end up regretting it. So I highly recommend wearing some sunscreen, because oh lordy, it is hot, and even as a darker skinned person like me, I can still get burnt easily in this weather. So when it comes summertime, I'm definitely wearing sunscreen. One more honorable mention that I have on this list, and again, I didn't think that this needed to be said, but it does need to be said for some folks. Put on deodorant. Holy cow, put on deodorant. I cannot tell you how many times I have walked by people that were not wearing any, and it was just you wanted to gag. It was horrible, especially as someone who used to work at the Magic Kingdom. It was horrendous how easily you can spot someone who was not wearing deodorant in the middle of summer. For the love of God, do yourself, do your family a favor, do the guests around you a favor, do the employees a favor. Wear deodorant. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video until the very end. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed any bit of today's video, or if you found any of the information given to be helpful to you guys, then please consider leaving a like on the video. If you guys are new around here and you want to see more informational type videos like this in the future, then please consider subscribing to the channel and ring that notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video like this in the future. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.